Hello, Rick187 and welcome back to UltimateAdmiralDreadnoughts, where we're continuing our Shipyard champion shenanigans with a bunch of other YouTubers. And we are now, of course, heading into week 7. But as we do every week, before we look to the future, we shall glance back at the past and see how the results from week 6 look. Okay, so to rejig that memory, last week was a kind of a dual-sided encounter where you designed a bunch of AI ships, handed them off to opponent to fight, and then you fought another opponent's bunch of AI ships. We had the glorious BB Sir Mix-a-Lot with his beautiful 30-inch guns, and we had our inglorious mix-up where I sent the wrong ship to my counterpart, Panzergraf, and he, instead of fighting our glorious Iron Beast, fought a laughable floating hulk. So that didn't end up too well for me, so I sunk all my opponent's ships without loss, but all my ships were sunk without inflicting any losses, so I ended up with a flat 0 point middle of the pack. But fair to say, despite my ingracious snafu, many others did a lot worse. So Brother-in-law, Lox Galaxy, Moisty and Stealth all suffering pretty heavy negative points, and yeah, congrats to Iron Wolf, Larry, Panzergraf and Bro Silly, who did a good job not only of smashing their opponents' fleets, but of designing ships that held their own. So that's all well and good. How does this look for the leaderboard? Well, unfortunately, some of those that did particularly well were those placed around me on the leaderboard, and so I slink down to 6th place, a lowly 6th place. But c'est la vie. Moisty still just out in front with 32 points, but with Iron Wolf breathing down his neck. And to be fair, I mean, Larry, Panzergraf, even Bro Silly, even myself, if you really want to push it, are within touching difference should Moisty have another bad week. And speaking of bad weeks, Stealth, as he is a new Admiral, Bro Silly made a decision to quadruple his points earned last week as a way to boost his position and give him a bit more of a score. Unfortunately, he came last, so he got quadruple very little, and that's still essentially out of place. So he's here for fun more than anything else. Okay, so that's the past, that's where we are. I mean, it's for fun. It would have been nice to be higher up in the leaderboard, but we're enjoying it, that's all that matters. Okay, what is week 7 challenge? Well, this is essentially a large fight. So we are going to design ourselves a ship, any ship, pick a ship, your choice, any type, any year, any tech, any nation, any weather, any time of day, any range. It's free reign. We will be fighting off an equal number of enemy ships of the same class. We have a choice of 10 or 20. Some people concerned about getting performance of recording software if you have 40 ships facing each other. We are going to go down the 20 route, so I'll just refer to that for here on out. I know in other videos there's only 10. So 20 ships. We have our designs. You're up against AI designs. We can't go for veterans. You've got to be crew rating 50 or lower, and we can't go for mental torpedo spam. And very simple scoring: sink a ship for a point, lose a ship minus a point. But if you hand over AI control, points are doubled. And that's it. Very straightforward. Big old battle. Lots of free reign. So that's what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do, let's jump in and have a look at designs. Now we could do a lot of things, to be perfectly honest. And initial thought might be cool. Let's jump to later tech. Let's kind of go 1930s, 1940s. Let's have ourselves a beast. Oh, hello. I think I fought against you rather than fought with you. I can't even remember. Anyway, these big exciting ships. Although if our tiebreaker is timing, then we probably want smaller ships because we'll sink faster. Although we're at more probability of taking a loss. So there's a bit of humming and hawing, and eventually I decided, well, do you know what? Let's not overthink it. And let's play around with a ship I saw. Actually, I think I even mentioned it last week, and one which I thought looked a hell of fun and wanted to give it a whirl. And that is the French. Is it the light cruiser here? No, it was Scout Cruiser. No, was it the light cruiser? The light cruiser 4. This is the one. The French light cruiser 4 with its double-decked guns, where you can put a ridiculous number of like 3-inch guns on here. And I thought this will be fun to play around with. So yeah, this is what we're going to do. Not the biggest light cruiser in the world, but relatively reasonably sized. Now we need to just find ourselves an opponent, so we can have a quick scout about, see who other Who else has other things? I mean, these are kind of comparable, to be honest. I don't know if there's that much difference. That's probably avoid the US. I think theirs is slightly better. The Russians also have got pretty chunky possibilities. I mean, the AI will, not necessarily guaranteed to pick the small design. The Italians, ish. Yeah, again, same kind of fare. Nothing really that much different to write home about. Yeah, and even, I think everyone really has always liked cruisers. So I think we probably just pick anyone that we want to go up against. It's all a bit of muchness, and maybe we'll go and beat up the Spanish, because that's always fun. Yeah, even the Chinese have all this kind of same kind of. Okay, let's do that. So, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go for France. We're going to go for a light cruiser 4. So we use these lovely guns, and we can put them on now. And we are going to go 3-inch, because bigger numbers are better. So you start on all the outside ones. I said we'll start on the outside ones. And as I said last week, these ones place themselves okay. These ones you got to do a little bit of manual rotation. If you do fit, if you just take a little bit of encouragement. Beautiful. Okay, so that's a shockingly large number of 3-inch guns. Oh, I've got to do the same over here. Oh, okay, no problem. Now, while I'm doing this, we can talk about whether we want to do manual control or AI control. AI control is double points. And I think even with this huge number of shells, I think the AI is going to do just a fine and dandy job of smashing our opponent to pieces. And I think that's what we're going to go for. Try and go for the double points in AI. 20 versus 20. We're probably going to lose a few, so it's not going to be perfect. But we can make this work. I'm going to probably try and stay out of torpedo range. That could be difficult, 6 kilometers, because that could lead to quite a lot of losses on both sides. What is your range? Actually, your range is less than this. Well, poop. Okay. Because my initial thoughts in my mind had been to let's go a range where we can use our mass number of guns without leaning too heavily on our torpedoes. But that does not look like it's going to happen. Not unless we increase the range or something, or the length. But I'm not sure that's a route we particularly want to go down. I think I'd rather just go rate of fire. We'll see. We'll leave that at 10% for just now. I'm going to hum and haw that in the background as we move through. Right, training can only be 50. 50 quarters. We'll go standard for just now. I'll have to think of a name. Probably don't need masses of speed. What's your kind of optimal? 21 max optimal. Okay, so 20 is respectable. I usually like to do a bit in the beam, especially if we're going to have. Torpedoes coming in. Not 10,000, 11,000. Yes, 11,000. Beautiful. Oh, I mean, you don't like that. Really? You're gonna let me place them back when you're done. Let's do this. Let's lose this level. Otherwise, that was mainly murmuring. There's 11,000. If I get my torpedoes back. No torpedoes. Okay. So let's go maximum. If we go maximum displacement, this is all the usual finagling I would then do off screen. Do 9.1. Do 9. 8.9. I will fix it. I'll be back in a mo. Okay, got it sorted. So we have a beam of 8.06%, and that puts us 11,000 tons exactly. And we have now put on an extra underwater torpedo tube. So we've got 3 of a broadside still. I also added the one, if I can find it, there you go. I've also added ones to the front and the back. So quite torpedo heavy, although it's not really the core principle of a design we're going for, but they'll do, they'll be helpful, so let's keep them. As ever, we'll just kind of go along these and pick the best kind of things we can do for just now. Yeah. Gas balance steam. Turning rate is probably useful. Just hydraulic, I think, will do. Armor's going to be an interesting one, actually. I'm more worried about torpedoes than I am about anything else, to be perfectly honest. Right, those good. Before we do armament, let's put some bits and bobs on. We probably want, yeah, good spotting. I mean, if we're going to start close in, then it's maybe less of an important thing. And then what size guns do we want? I mean, we could just go hails to the bell and go like 4 inches, be ridiculous here. But we have quite a lot of weight left, so we could probably get away with something like 6s. All single turrets. I don't think we need to go up to 7s. Again, I think we're going to focus on rate of fire. We can happily stick 2 there. Is there any way we could get a 3rd on? Not with those lifeboats. And we can get a smaller tower. Oh, we could. What's the biggest small tower we can get? Rear tower 3. So what am I giving up here? So we get 2 off our aiming speed, 0.15 of accuracy, combination damage control, smoke interference, tower spawning 1500 versus 950. It's not, it's a little bit. Is it worth it for another 6-inch gun? Probably. Yeah, this feels like it's got a lot of guns now. A lot of guns. I think we're going to start pretty close in, and we're just going to go for mass fire. Max HE, Max HE, this is what we want. Now, do we want to worry about smashing through things? What kind of penetration do I get off my HE? Still only a couple of inches. Or do we just go, oh, we don't even have incendiary. What's my fire chance here? It's only minus 15. That's plus 30 though, so there's a 45% swing. I go here, what's my arm penetration like? Yep, essentially non-existent. But we could just set things on fire, which is probably going to be enough. Let's go up to Cordite 1, let's go up to Dunite charges. I don't know, I'm going to increase for now, but I'm not sure we're going to keep that. Shells. We could go light shells and again just go rate of fire essentially down to HE spam. Let's take advanced hydraulic, let's take advanced. Don't worry about fast. Take the bigger ones if we can. Increased ammo, sure. How can I afford all this? Wow, I've got loads of space left actually. Now do I want coincidental, which is aiming speed and accuracy, or stereoscopic? Probably for the splashes I'll take the stereoscopic. We'll take the advanced radio. No mines. Okay. We're only rocking 3 inches of belt. We are only a light cruiser. Actually quite a lot of... Oh, funnels. An engine. Yeah. Just put one of these in the middle, presumably. 300% engine efficiency. Okay, let's not maybe go that far. What do you look like? 121%? Because what we can do is we could stick on a couple of these. And have a bit of a spare, because I don't think we can put turrets or anything in this middly bit, can we? No. Them lifeboats get in the way. So if we stick on a couple of, I don't really want, do I want 300%? Well, whatever, we'll do that. We might increase the speed. Then if obviously one gets taken out, we're still going to be hunky-dory. Pitch and rolls a bit all over the spot. Weight seems fine. Let's bring some of these up. Belts, decks, probably not that important if we're going quite close. Let's do just, if we max our settle armor, how are we doing on weight? Absolutely hunky-dory. Again, this is probably okay for that, to be perfectly honest. And then the caliber of guns, and I'm tempted here to go down, like say 5%, and we'll focus on the rate of fire. So it's not, we're not going to penetrate stuff, but we should burn everything out super quickly. That's the plan. We're going to stick to it. So let's bring these down. Probably just zero's fine. What we have rates of fire. 17 rounds a minute. I mean, that sounds like a lot of oomph, doesn't it? So we're probably going to start, let's say, 4K might be a good starting distance for us. So it's not like crazy torpedo range, but enough for people to launch them. Now, is there anything else I can do in terms of torpedo survivability? Not really. What does spacious actually do for us? Just spare people. We might do that. We've got the weight for it. It's not something I tend to do. Could go 21 knots. Why not? More resistance against flooding. Yeah. Oh yeah, that increases our blooming displacement again. Alright, we'll leave our draft reluctantly. It might be behoove me to actually fiddle with that and make a more reluctant to torpedoes. We've got some anti-flood, we've got increased beam. So I think the best thing to do is just to up armor ourselves, perfectly honest. We'll do maybe 1.5 for the main deck. Go 6 for the belt. Could help with our stability a little bit. Conning tower, yeah, sure, we'll protect some people. Okay. What's the kind of biggest numbers I can have here? Quite a lot, actually. You maxed. Oh my. That's increased ammo. Yeah, I'm okay with light shells. What can you have? We can go up to... Oh my god, this thing can have a lot. You are kidding me. I can have 6 inches of deck. Why? Why can I have 6 inches of deck? Oh. Okay, let's bring this down a little bit and we'll bring these up at scooch. And it should provide a more stable platform. Oh my god, she's a beast. She is so armored, it's frightening. Was there anything else we really want to change? No, again, I think I'm going to keep that. We're going to go for that. We're going for the fires. I'm committing. Pick the fires. I'm okay with all this. Am I just adding more armor? Is there any way to get more guns on? Could I have done a super firing barbette? I mean, potentially, if I take you off and put on like one of these, would it work? I put you back. Right, hang on, I'm going to do some tweaks. I'll see where I end up. Alright, I got my barbette on. Best thing is, I haven't even gone over the weight yet. This is frightening. Oh, hang on, I can do this though. Let's go there. It spends a little bit of weight. And we should be able to... Sorry, got the barbette armor on. Okay. I think we are just going to up armor our deck like an absolute madman. Don't tell me I can get 6 inches, but no, not quite. 6 inch belt, main belt, 4 belt, aft belt, and 6 inch deck. Madness. Actually, do you know what might be better, more advantageous? Bring this. I'm not using 6 inches of deck, let's be honest. We could get a little bit more in the superstructure, and then a bit more in the sentinel armor. So things should just be bouncing off us. Bring you up to 6 to match. I mean, okay. I am absolutely terrified by how armored this thing can be. I knew it was a lot of fun with a lot of guns, but this is a lot of armor. Alright, maybe we'll just squeeze the rest into a bit more engine. 5, it seems fine. And, oh, I don't know, can I... Alright. There we go, done. Oh, can I squeeze a little bit more in our there? Yes, perfect. 10, 9, and 7. Beautiful. What an absolute armored beast. This thing has a lot of firepower and a lot of armor. Probably slow compared to maybe some of our compatriots. And a bunch of torpedoes, and we're going to set her at about 4K range. just so we can make the most of these bad boys. And let the AI control and all hell's gonna break loose. Awesome. Oh, I need a name. Thinking time. Okay, I'm gonna go with the Prometheus. I think that's how you spell it. Also, mythology of man who stole fire from the gods and gave it to man. And because we have taken fire and we've turned it into this infernal beast that will rain fire upon our adversaries. I'm really looking forward to it. Right, so that's fine. So let's save a design before we do anything else. Beautiful. Who are we going to fight against? Did we say? I think Spain, maybe. Make sure I've got nothing in here in terms of Spain. I do not. So that's going to work perfectly. Let's get out here and plan it. Okay, so let me sort this stuff up. Okay, here we go. 1910, 4K, France versus Spain, 20 light cruisers. It's the, actually, I don't know if a famous Palpatine is too. It's a, not that they existed, I just can't remember off the top of my head. A clash of the ages, right, we'll go with that. Ship designs on, weather, clear in daytime. Let's just go, quick start. No, yes, 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 you should grab my beautiful Prometheus. I need to put them all in AI control as soon as we get in here. And see what we're up against. This is going to be hectic. Pwah! Pwah! I laugh at you. Pause. Okay. Okay, we haven't ID'd them yet, that's fine. So we need to put you onto AI control, AI control, AI control, and AI control, and then hopefully we shouldn't mess up. So here are the perfidious, the Spanish, almost call them Italians. That's my rule, always 3 games sneaking in there. You've got some, what is this paltry guns on the front? Where's the rest of your guns? Oh, there's some along here. You've got, what's this, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 or 3 inch guns, and then they look potentially 4s or 5s. I think we're going to absolutely annihilate these. Torpedoes is my fear. I think that's where some of our losses may come from. But we shall just have to see what happens. Go. Go, 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 go. Oh, these things are great. My problem is that I don't know if the AI is clever enough to be like, you know, you want to get these things on broadside, yeah? Partial pens, even though we didn't take any particular, we focused on fires rather than penetration. Right, how are the hits coming in? Wow, these guys are terrible. Okay. In fact, I expect a little bit more fire and brimstone when we kick things off. It also annoys me that the Q and E keys are reversed on the camera. I spend most of my time getting it wrong. And then everyone smokes up and we lose kind of sight. Alright. Well, let's kick up speed a little bit. As the oh, penetration of a secondary gun. I suppose that is the risk with all our little gun shields. I have faith. Bit more fire coming in. Not seeing any hits though. Oh, there's a partial pen. Despite all our ridiculous armor. Okay, there they are coming out of their smoke as we come out of ours. The torpedoes haven't really played a part, which I'm quite glad of. I didn't want to get a big torpedo stramash. Kind of got a bit of a battle line. Are 3 inches getting involved? Not yet. Not a bit frustrating. We need to be scooch close. No, we should be. Oh no, we're not. We're at 5.4. We're not even at 5.4k, even though it said we started it. Oh, but there's our fire doing great work already. But yeah, please come closer. Then the real fun can start. This is just with our 6 inches at the minute, which is good. You know, carrying 4 6 inches I think was a good addition. I'm glad we did that in the end. Oh, destroyed torpedo. I assure you they're not DDs. Right, get a bit closer. Right, are you firing your 3 inches? Nope. It's all done with the 6s at the minute. Disadvantage of AI control. We may not get close enough to see the glory of our 3-inch swarm. Alright, let's kick speed up a little bit. No confirmed sinkings. They're looking a little worse for a couple of our ships. We've got a little bit of scuffage. No one looks to be horrendously damaged. Okay, let's slow down again, because I think now these... Oh, they're so close. Let's speed up till they get in the range. Okay. Now you should be firing all your 3 inches. Yes, here we go. Look at that hail of bullets. I need to try and get a good angle for this. Nice. I like just the complete stream of fire coming out of here. Alright. Well, let's get you back. How are we doing? A few hits there, but how are they doing? Not as badly as I was hoping, actually. We do seem to be missing an extraordinarily large amount of time. On the plus side, the closer they get, the easier it's going to be. And you are quite badly on fire. Okay. Not much more for it. This is nice. I'm glad we're closing the distance. We will have to watch out for the annoyance of torpedoes, especially in such concentrated groups. Oh, some nice hits there. I would really like to get an idea of... Oh, we know what you are. Okay, the Galicia. So yeah, a couple of 5 inches at the front, 3 inches down the side. We've got a few torpedoes on them. Yeah. Is that 4 on a spread? That'd be pretty good. She's currently on fire. Apart from that, structurally is doing okay. Seen better days. What kind of tonnage is that? 6,000 tons. Yeah, so we're almost twice the tonnage. It's quite a lot of torpedoes they cram onto a fairly low tonnage ship though. And that could definitely make a bit of a difference. Okay, in fact there's some torpedoes away there. So I should keep a slightly weather eye out, because I suspect the Spaniards are doing the same. It's all through gunnery at the minute. I mean, these actually are pretty woeful torpedo shots. That's okay, we're here for the gunfire. Right, let's kick speed up a little bit. Oh, just blocked hits. Right, there's the torpedoes incoming. This is quite a horrific spread here, actually, from Galicia. A few ships are potentially in the line of fire. Best I think we can hope for here is spreading the damage around. There's no way this is going to get through this line without hitting our ships. Although, good attempt of AI to turn. Apart from this one. Colbert. Okay. You might skip it. Good job. You think you guys might be okay? You or look like you're going to take one, if not two. Oh, dud. Okay, I'll count my lucky stars there. You get this one missed. Oh wow. So hey, we burnt the first one out. Beautiful. Okay, so 4 torpedoes there, 1 dud, 3 misses. Nice. I will take my luck. Thank you very much. Was that hit in the end actually? Yeah. Okay. Never mind. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that wasn't the plan. Oh. But you're okay? Yeah, it's just a flash fire, turret exploding. I'll shrug that off. Okay, unfortunately more torpedoes away. Okay, we'll see how they go. So 1 down, 19 to go. This could be a long video. Right. Faster, Capitan. Where are you guys going? Stop running away. This is where I slightly regret giving the AI any kind of control. But odds are definitely in our favour. But we got to watch for these injured ships, because ideally I'd like them to stay away. And that looks like it's going to miss everyone unless you decide to sail into it. Another danger is we're going to run out of 6-inch shells at this rate. We do have lots of 3-inch though. I hadn't factored in there may come a point where we just don't sink a large number of enemy and they run away. Oh, that could end with quite a terrible score. See how it goes. The Editana should hopefully be going the way of it relatively soon. Get our 3 inches lined up and away they go. Turn to avoid torpedoes. I think you should be okay. We're relatively nippy. Nicely done. Oh, as I say that, you actually one of them clipped you. I thought you'd missed all 4. It might have been another salvo. Grrg. Okay. Again, she's burning quite badly. I'm okay with that, but I would like more. More burning. You alright, Villiers? I think you're not going to sink yet. All the things I can be doing if I had control here. Right, you look like the mad shape. You gonna go down? Pa-ding, pa-ding, pa-ding. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. Frankly, I wish you'd go down so you stop us wasting all our ammo on you. Surrendered. Huh, nice. Okay, more torpedoes incoming. Oh, quite fast ones as well. I am on 3 speed. You're going to get hit by at least 1. 2. Same place though. You should survive it, but you'll be quite unhappy about life. Okay, let's go up to speed 5 if we can. Keep a weather eye for some engagements. We've got some long-range duels over here. Our kind of advanced party is a little bit on the beaten up side. With the VRs and the Milan. And you know, we've got 18 more of these things to get through. I'm sorry, you say low fuel? Well, that's interesting. They're all on low fuel. Wasn't expecting to see that. Again, she comes into this hornet's nest. Getting stung by little 3 inches. But just, I mean, that's a lot of hits they take. That's a couple of thousand hits. No, sorry, that's damage. She's taking like... I was going to say, that was a bit excessive. Almost 100 hits though. I think I'm reading amount of damage, but none of it looks too critical. Oh, something just blew up somewhere. I wonder what's going to cause her to surrender. I mean, it might be crew losses, might be fires. Okay, Cersei has surrendered. Is our lagging team doing well? Now I'm just concerned about us burning through ammo, even with the increased storage that we took. I mean, look, what's the speed of these? Wow, these things are actually up to 30 knots. They're much, much faster than we are. It does concern me they may just run away, but the low fuel means they won't be able to run away. As long as my AI crew decide they want to keep attacking. That should nerf their speed quite handily. Right, you guys are now picking on these dudes, that's fine. There's a bit of a formation on the go. Finding the Spanish might be our hardest task at the moment. Armor wise, 0 to 4 inches. Yeah, fine. Yeah, here we've only got AP left on. No, it's their ammo. They're themselves. How are we looking? We got a little bit, but I'm slightly worried. Okay, keep going. Right, at this point, I think not huge amounts of interesting things are happening. You're in a little bit of a difficult situation. Blocked, like to see it, with our lots and lots of armor. So what I might do is I'm going to cut away for a little bit. If something particularly spectacular pops in, or if we get more surrenders, I'll maybe come back just with those updates. Alright, I'll see you then. Alright, the Petronia, which is the ones we were engaging, same group as the Cersei, has surrendered. Fire has moved onto the Rio de la Plata. Apart from that, things are going okay. It was Alhamza has surrendered. This is our kind of a chargy AI group here, which I'm very a big fan of. Yes, me English good. I like what these guys are doing. They're going to obviously expose themselves to some torpedoes. But I've got a little bit of faith. It seems to be going relatively well. A little bit of hits. Two of us take some damage, but he'll be fine. Pride of the French fleet. Oh, turn, man, turn. Show them your rear. Dud torpedo. So one hit, one explosion, flooding in the rear. That looks like flooding in your front, actually. How did you manage that? I will not ask. Take yourself to the rear with your low flooding. So we're doing a reasonable job keeping themselves alive, actually. These occasional torpedoes are about the worst thing that happens. Alright, I'll give you another skip forward. We'll see you in the next update. Next one down, Francisco de Assisi has sunk due to fires, I think I just said. And the Rio de Plata is about to go. These fools sailed very much into the teeth of the bulk of our forces. We've got one kind of squadron over there, or division, tangling with a foursome of Spanish vessels. Again, they'll come up trumps. Once I'm quite hoping the De Plata goes down quickly, so these forces kind of re-target themselves somewhere else. This right flank is the most worrying area when looking at potential losses. This is where the Tourville is. What's that? Rio... No, which one's Rio de Plata? The one I was just talking about. He says pushing the wrong button to spin around again, as he always does. I think so. Right, spin back around this way. Just because they are taking on a large number of Spanish vessels, they've already taken a occasional torpedo hit there. So I want them to try and not get too isolated, but they continue to sail away from the rest of the fleet. That being said, they seem to be holding their own relatively well. Actually, I don't even know where they're going now. Perhaps the danger is past. We're doing a reasonable job of kind of corralling them. I just need all these fools to push in and actually get involved in the action. But I like this kind of double broadside we've got here. Well, it's not quite broadside. As we engage against these ships here. I think they're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think they're about half. There's probably about 10 of them or so left. It's going to be a question of how many we can sink before we lose sight of them. But the same, it just seems to be a question of time for us wearing them down. No one's really come under threat, apart from, I think Turbo was the closest with those double torpedo hit, but everyone else seems pretty hunky-dory. Alright, I'll do another quick jump. Alright, so I've gone through almost another, I think, half hour of in-game time. So, that must have been 6 minutes then if we went at 5 times speed. One more Spanish surrendered to high casualties. Herman Cortes is almost there as well. He's once they hit about 45, they're probably going to go. We have, however, I've done nothing. The AI has managed to corral pretty much all the remaining Spanish ships. Ah, there it goes. Seems to seems around about the 45% marks when they give up. Anyway, all the surviving Spanish ships in this kind of area, with the exception of one trying to make a break for over here and failing to do so. Ooh, oh, and there it goes. General Linnaeus, although he did get a torpedo hit on the Magon. You going to survive? It's going to be. You should be okay. 3 compartments, I think you'll cope with. Yeah. They were trying to run away, but no luck again, 45% losses. And most of it seems to be crew losses, which is causing these ships to surrender, which is interesting. Not one... I suppose it's perhaps my... the fires aren't doing enough structural damage, he says, as one falls to structural damage. But are causing enough damage to the crew. We do get... Although it does seem to cause a real amount of damage in terms of we see penetrations, we see bits of flooding, but nothing... really quite chunky enough. Right, you should go down fairly soon. What's left? Oh, some more risky-disky torpedoes. Anyone here injured? The Tourville is, if you get hit, you could come a cropper. It looks to be a single torpedo though, so it should just go through a mist. Oh, and seems to have run its run. Run its race, even. So we've got a couple in here. There's a few more, I think, in the smoke that we maybe haven't spotted. Aside from that, I'm not sure if we know where anyone else is. I did notice just before I quit last time, one of these divisions had flipped over to person control, so I had to put them back onto AI. And you'll just have to trust me that I give no orders. Thankfully, my only bit of luck was that they hadn't sailed off randomly in a wrong direction. They were still vaguely in the battle area, so I flipped them over and they went back to doing what they're supposed to do. Okay, there is some more managed to escape. Got 1, 2 here, who are not long for this world. And then our lead elements here, the Desas, the Mulhouse, and the Flora are trying to chase down those cowardly Spaniards. Oh, there's one here as well, okay. Hey, we got one due to flooding. There's probably one here, which we should spot fairly soon. And there's you we know about, who's going to die fairly soon. What are your losses looking like? Oh, 45% crew losses, and you haven't surrendered yet. I suspect that'll happen soon. There's Libertad, looks relatively healthy for just now. We'll change that. And then there's the ones over there, which might be the last of them. So we could get a clean sweep. There you go, just over the 45, 45.1, and you surrender. I wonder if you will be the same. Although you'll take a few more hits before you get there. As it is, we've not lost a single ship, and I'm hoping we can keep it that way. Oh, and we've caught up with these ones. Deep penetration, secondary guns destroy. We're doing a reasonable work. And I think it's all of us, our 6 inches are really doing the work here. Those lovely kind of double tiered 3-inch kind of gun shield things that we put on, just I don't think are doing the job we thought they would do. Our actually is also terrible. But luckily we have a lot of guns, so, you know, that wins. And again, crew losses do increase, which is probably, again, due to the shells perhaps doing less damage but causing more fires. Oh, that was a nice one. Because they're not the blazing hulks I perhaps expected from going down the increased HE route. Now, true, we don't have incendiary shells. We still had a plus 30% chance of fires, but 45.1 crew losses yet again. Which leads us down to just the DSS and their charge, but you have got between the Spanish and their main fleet, which should hopefully do what we need to do. But might take a wee bit before we actually spot these fools. Alright, rather than maybe stare at a blank bit of smoke, I was going to say I'll cut away and come back when we can see them. So we've got Cristobal. No, we've gone again. Maybe turn towards them? Just saying. Might be a sensible thing for you to do. Nope. You're just going to keep on going this way. Right. It's here. They're here. We know they're here. Don't enemies smoke them in northwest me. We can go times 10 though. Well, hopefully if these guys head in the same-ish direction, we'll bump into them. Oh, there we go. Right, you're going to keep connected and engaged, although we seem to be, again, corralled in amongst all our forces, which is nice to see. They look to be in perfectly healthy condition. So we'll take a little bit of effort and finding them a little bit more. Alright, I'm gonna put a cut on until we get a few more land a few more hits on these fills. So we have spotted them again, although the AI, frustratingly, if you lose contact, seems to forget they ever existed and doesn't sail towards that general area. My only concern is the Magon here is probably our closest ship to them. In fact, it is. And she is quite badly injured, flooding in the stern. So I'm slightly worried in case she takes a torpedo in her front, which could lead to our first loss. Apart from that, it's okay. I just need to make my ships to actually keep sailing towards these Spaniards. Just with impaired rudder, impaired engine, her ability to get out of the way is not great. But no indication that they actually launched torpedoes at me, so that's positive. They definitely do have them. Although we're at pretty extreme torpedo range, so perhaps we just weren't quite in the right arc when that happened. Okay, plenty of ships coming there in... I've lost them again. I don't know which formation you're part of, but at least you should be going in the right direction to find them. The SAS is now going the wrong way. Doesn't seem to want to turn around. At least have the... whatever that is, coming in the right direction. We just need to try and finish these people off. There is a tiebreak on time, which I don't think we're going to win. I thought this was going to be a much quicker engagement than it was. Probably should have maybe even started a bit sooner. Sooner. Closer. But c'est la vie. Again, I don't think there's much of a threat here. It's just a risk of whether they get away from us or not. And because they've got low fuel, I think we're going to be okay. I'm not sure what their speed's restricted to, but it's restricted and that's all that really matters. We certainly seem to be able to keep pace with them, if not go slightly faster. Alright, I'll cut away and I'll let you know if whether we either decidedly catch them or if they escape our grasp. Alright, we seem to definitely Caught with them. We've got 3 ships just over the horizon. The Naide, I don't know, has overtaken them and they're now turning in. It's also using its 3 inches as they were intended. Pop, 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 pop. Which is great to see, although again, we're just causing more casualties than perhaps fires. Well, that's not true. We're causing a lot of fires, but I don't know, they're just not burning out the way I thought they would. But that's okay. I'm happy to win, even if for the wrong reasons. You'll see she is totally spent of 6-inch ammo. And torpedoes, apparently. I've not even seen that many torpedo hits on the Spanish vessels, but apparently we launched them all. Or they got hit. No, she's perfectly healthy. Perfectly healthy? Pretty healthy. So I'm going to say she probably has fired them all. Which is fairly good going. Plenty of 3-inch ammo left, though. So we're happy to machine gun our way to victory against these remaining Spaniards. She's already at 40% losses. At 45, just north of 45, she will surrender, and then we'll move on to, I think, the last remaining Spaniard. I hope so, otherwise we've got to find someone else and chase them down. Oh, extensive fire! Hey, it does happen, good. It just looks cool, these double decks of small guns, like, even if they've not been quite as effective. Might see if I can try and catch a broadside here. Right, stop turning. Okay. Guarantee that looks terrible when I look at it later. But it's done. Okay, let's go up to speed 5. You're now in the midst of a bunch of our elite CLs. You should be being peppered by all sorts of things. I think, what am I going to say? Probably, I mean, you got fires here actually. Your crew losses don't look too bad, and you've got a fair number of fires burning upon you. You've burnt through all your HE for your 5-inch. Not that it did you much good. You still got plenty of AP, although the angle's at half. For some reason, your 3 inches seem to have a shorter range in mine. I wonder if you don't have as good a mark. Oh, come on. He's right here. Don't be fooled by this cloud of smoke, it's a ship. Oh, I wonder wherever he could be. No, I will not return to my flagship. This is a Spanish vessel. I know it is. Man, you guys are dumb. Okay. I thought this was going to be our final hurrah. Apparently not. Oh, here we go. Nice. We should have a good 5 minutes before the smoke recharges. Hopefully we can hit her enough times. She managed to put our fires out though. So maybe that's the issue we've seen, is that they've had enough respite between our attacks to manage to do some of this damage control. I mean, it's just progressive damage which is really taking them down through the crew losses. Although he has managed to just kind of sail through the middle of our fleet fairly successfully. More hits, please. Is she a bit more aggressive? Oh, see, you've gone battle line again. How did that happen? Way aye, please. Alright, on the assumption that she will die eventually, I'll come back when it happens. Okay, we are back. She's taken a couple of bruising hits, and I was about to say, is very close to the surrender mark, and there she goes. That's not the whole of them. Oh, this one may get away. Okay, well, I'll put this cliffhanger in, and we shall see when I come back if we have another engagement or a runaway ship. Okay, we have found her, and she was actually sailing towards some of my ships, which I thought was a very bold move over. The Guadalquivir, or some other pronunciation. So hopefully we can keep in touch. I suspect she'll do a disappearing trick again. I'll have to find her, but I think this should allow us to get the big old W. I was interested in looking at the kind of hits we've done throughout the engagement while this was going on. If I let's take up to speed 5. You know, we've landed. Where are we? That's the enemy hits. Where's our hits? Here we go. So we've landed what 725 6-inch hits and 2,000 3-inch hits. So only just over double. And if you consider we have what 4 6-inches, but 3 6. Hang on, 3 6 12 25. 36 3-inch guns we have in each of these. Yes. That's not, you know, that shows how much we've been reliant on 6 inches rather than the 3s. And we have actually hit with 5 torpedoes apparently, which I haven't seen most of, but fair enough. On their side, they have hit us a reasonable number of times, 230 times with a 5-inch, so yeah, about a third in terms of heavy guns. They did get 11 torpedo hits, but not many times with their smaller caliber. See, that's what I'm talking about. See, the AI was over here, where you were fighting it, you've lost it. You're maybe turning a little bit towards. You could be doing better. And then in terms of penetration, so we've not had any blocked hits, a couple of ricochets, most have been in the partial pens. So almost all our 3-inch shells are doing partial penetrations. And actually, of the 2,000 hits, we did cause 1,000 fires. We were kind of doing what we thought we were doing in terms of causing a fire. But the ships just didn't seem to be suffering as much from the burnout as perhaps I expected, or as quickly as expected. And then we have had a few, you know, a few overpens, a few penetrations, a couple of, nothing really major here. Even our 6 inches, most of their hits are in the partial pen category. So interesting. So they've been oddly successful, but perhaps not doing at exactly what we thought we were going to do. Right, on the assumption this is the last Spanish ship, I will cut in and just come back as and when it's hopefully about to die. Alright, I don't think she's far away now. She's got her smoke cloud up and we haven't lost sight of her, which is usually a good sign. We've got a couple of different divisions floating around. She's still subpar 40% losses, but is burning quite healthily. So we may find that what takes her out this time. Oh, this smoke's terrible. Oh, actually, you've put out most of your fires, even though all your crew's dead. A couple ones in the rear. Oh, you're up to 40% losses now. Oh, torpedo, nice. I'm still going to say fire. I think fire will claim you. We shall see. I mean, I will pray that this is it. Look at our time. I thought this was going to be a quick battle. That's brutal. What's that? 2.5 in-game hours? Oh, do not tell me you ran away. Come on. Thank you. No. How are you not seeing this? It's here. Oh, random torpedoes in the water. It'd be funny if they hit it. Oh, there she is. See? Maybe a pretty low profile. So all her fires are out. So it's going to be crew losses and surrender, I think. Oh, look at that hole. You think that would be taking on a little bit of water? Apparently not. Oh, I was so confident this was going to be the very end. I mean, look how close we are, actually. What's that? 3K! We still can't see the blasted thing. It's actively shooting at us, and we're still not convinced. There we go. Oh, no, no. Just fire into the cloud, lads. Good. Didn't think they'd actually do that. Need your smoke thing to end, and then you're within. Oh, you back to 5K still. A couple of good hits, and the remaining crew will give up. How are you guys for your 6-inch? You're out. You're out. You're out. So yeah, 3-inch ammo only. Which means once it gets beyond a certain range, we stop firing. What are you guys all doing? Alright, alright, alright. Okay. One more cut. Okay, this time. This time for sure is. Nice. Is it over? It's over! Okay, I think that's a clean sweep. 0 lost. Awesome. AI control. 20 ships down, double points, 40 points, maximum possible score. Now, our time was garbage, but assuming no one else gets a clean sweep, we're good. And presumably everyone's going to get a clean sweep. He hopes. Yeah, so I'll be perfectly honest, that was not as an effective design as I thought it was going to be. The 3 inches didn't really get the job done, and I think part of it's probably a reluctance from an AI perspective to get in a lot closer, as I would have done had I been in control, which did maybe limit the usefulness. And maybe I should have gone up to the capped ballistic and done some more armor penetration damage rather than rely on the fires, because it worked, but maybe not as designed. And let's be entirely honest, had the AI not managed to spawn in with low fuel, which is a bit odd, but these things happen, we would have had a much tougher time, and those last few would have run away and we would not have got a clean sweep. So, a bit of luck. I mean, I like the ship, it looks cool, it's nice when it works. I don't think the AI used it to the best effect, and maybe we can make some tweaks, but we came away very successful. No losses, AI control, 40 points in the bag, back in the game. Alright, I hope we go watch the other guys, see how they get on, and I'll see you next week. Cheerio.